Coming
House.
up tonight, an hour of home improvement. Two in a row, it's got to be a double take.
My shit.
Nick at Night
Malcolm in the
presents
Middle
The
is my
Nanny.
shit. I'm gonna be real. Ain't. Come on now. He was on Nick at Night at one point.
Don't stop now. You can always go more Lopez with George Lopez every night on Nick at Night.
Seemed like George Lopez was just there to wake people up and they sleep after 3 o'clock
If you
in
were
the
a
morning.
kid in the 2000s, you should remember that come 9 p.m., Nickelodeon would go off air, and on would come a new programming block called
Home
Nick
Improvement
at
and George
Night,
Lopez. Oh
where
my
shows
god.
like Full House, Family Matters, The Nanny, Friends, Fresh Prince, like Full House, Family Matters, The Nanny.
I couldn't stand her voice. Oh my god. What was her? I don't even remember her name. But her voice was so aggravating. Oh my god. It was so whiny. It was I can't even do it. I just remember her voice being so aggravating. She looked good, but her voice aggravated me when I was watching this show.
Friends, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air,
Fire.
George Lopez,
Nah.
Roseanne, and so many more shows predominantly aimed at an older target audience like teenagers and adults can sit down once the little kids were put to bed for the night and enjoy content on their own. Now, I personally haven't had cable TV since 2019, and I feel like most people don't have it nowadays.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I be surprised when people still got cable, because it's literally no point to having cable at this point in time. When you got the internet at a different level to what it was back in the day. Like the internet, you could get everything you wanted, any TV show you wanted, and everything. Like, why would you have cable and you gotta pay $300 a month for what shows that all them channels that you don't watch? I know, man. No. Why is you even paying for cable at this point? You're wasting your money. You paying $300 a month for nothing.
As streaming sort of took it over. But even in
Hate
2019, when I
streaming
had
platforms,
cable
too.
TV, I never thought about Nick at Night, or if it still existed. I'll tell
I'm
you
pretty
right
sure
now,
it
it
still
still
does.
did, and still does, right now.
Yeah.
However, I do consider it to be a shell of its once amazing self. So, let's talk about it. To put things into perspective, I was born August 19th, 1999, and Nick at Night was born July 1st, 1984,
Oh,
which
man.
makes Nick at Night 38 years old.
God.
It's been existent my entire life and more.
I'm saying, yeah, I ain't know it was that
So
old. Damn.
there was a lot of Nick at Night that I personally missed, and because of that, I won't be speaking on that time of the channel, mainly because I can't. I have no recollection of it. I will say, however, when the channel first aired in 1984, the shows that premiered were Dennis the Menace, The Donna Reed Show, Turkey Television, and Route 66.
I'm gonna be real. All them shows sound boof. Them shows sound boof as hell.
None of which I have ever seen
I'm
in my
saying
entire life.
them shows sound boof.
The time of Nick at Night that I remember begins in 2004. I was 5 years old. My older brother and I shared a room, which was SpongeBob themed, thanks to me. And on a TV in our room, we hooked a cable box up, so during the day I can watch TV and play with my toys without dragging everything down to our living room. Turns out that was a mistake to leave a working TV in the room with me at all times. I remembered waking up in the middle of the night and turning the TV on, only to not fall back to bed, having watched classics like Cheers, The Cosby Show, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air,
Fresh
Roseanne,
Prince?
and of
No.
course my favorite.
What is Roseanne? She looked familiar. She looked familiar, and her dad looked familiar, but No, I don't know who these people is right here.
At Full House.
Yeah, nah, I was more of a Family Matters type of person. I ain't want to watch no Full House. Family Matters me all day.
And this wasn't just once or twice. I mean, my parents had to take the cable away from my room because I was sleeping during school at just 5 years old, getting letters sent home. That didn't stop me either. I was an adventurous, determined 5-year-old. As soon as I learned my parents fell asleep, I'd sneak downstairs and watch TV in the living room at night. Eventually, my mom told me I
Yeah,
seriously had to sleep, and over time, I stepped away from watching Nick at Night. But in 2009, when I turned 10 years old, I was given a super loose bedtime, so I got away with staying up extremely late. However, by 2009, a lot
2013,
of what was on Nick at Night
2009,
had
2013.
changed.
Yeah.
Not everything, but most had left. Cheers was long gone.
I don't
The
even know what that
Cosby
is.
Show only had 1 year left on Nick at Night. Roseanne was out the door. Fresh Prince was gone.
Yeah.
It later returned years later in 2014.
I was
but
already
still,
done. I was already done watching Nick at Night at that time. I'm gonna be real. Yeah.
For now, it was gone. Luckily, Full House was in it to win it,
Full House? No.
and along with
No.
Full House came a new era of Nick at Night.
Family
First off,
Matters.
the Nick at Night
No.
logo change in 2009 was, in my opinion, a major L on Nick's behalf.
Yeah, I'm
I
with you on that
loved
one.
this weird half splat Nick at Night logo, and in its place, we got this monstrosity. Anyways, back to the shows at that time. Full House remained a staple for me, but now I was introduced to classics like George Lopez, Everybody
Yeah.
Hates Chris,
Yeah,
Family
fuck with it.
Matters, Home Improvement,
Yeah.
Malcolm in the Middle, My Wife and Kids, The Nanny, and of course,
Fire. He just named straight fire shows right there besides Full House. I'm gonna be real. I do not want to watch Full House. I would turn it off. I would go to sleep if I see Full House come on at that time. Like, come on, man. Put on Malcolm in the Middle. I'm good. I'm staying up all night. But that, what you call it, Full House? I don't want to watch the Full House or the Nanny. The Nanny was boof. I hated her voice. I couldn't stand it.
Dear God, of course, let's not forget the Nick at Night original series, Glenn Martin.
I remember this show. This show was weird as hell. Oh my god. I tried to remember what this show called a few days ago. That's wild. Oh my god. He was like they was traveling or something like that. A traveling dentist or something like that he was. And they always showed the dog ass or something like that. And the son was a horny motherfucker. I don't remember nothing else. That's all I can remember.
DDS. Guys, if you remember this freak show of a series, you and I are gonna get along just fine.
I don't remember no Asian person in there. I'm gonna be real. I don't remember her at all.
Get nightmares of this show.
Nah.
Now, mind you, this used to come on right after SpongeBob. To go from that to Glenn Martin DDS is wild. And looking it up on Wikipedia, it's funny, because I guess I wasn't the only one that found it weird, because parents complained and the show was banned to the 10:30 p.m. slot time, and after 2 seasons, it was trashed.
Yeah, that show is boof anyways.
But
That
my
would be
eyes
real.
were already damaged for having watched this travesty.
Like, did they really think that was gonna be funny showing the dog ass every episode? Like, I remember that and be like, why do they do this? Like, they showed that dog ass every time. Every episode.
I would say 2009 was the beginning of the end for Nick at Night's dominating TV run. Now, I say that because between 2009 and 2013, Nick at Night also acquired shows like Married with Children, That 70s Show, Friends, New Adventures of Old Christine, and Yes Dear, along with more Nick at Night originals like See Dad Run, Wendell and Vinny, and Instant Mom. But by the end of 2013,
What the hell is them
Wendell and
shows?
Vinny was already canceled.
What is
And
some
shows
shows?
that Nick at Night acquired over the years had come and gone.
Wait a minute, 2013. How is he doing this then? Wasn't iCarly still going on or Was it before iCarly? I don't know. It had to be before. I don't know. No, probably after. Probably after.
leaving the network with shows like See Dad Run and Instant Mom
I'm gonna be real. Them shows look boof.
to pick up slack, and really, it wasn't working.
Them shows
Of
look
course, the
boof.
network still had Full House and George Lopez, but seriously, the network was starting to lack diversity. My Wife and Kids and That 70s show still aired.
I guess that was holding the show along. I ain't gonna lie. I fuck with that 70 show, and I fuck with what you call it.
But by 2014, Nick at Night was shaking in its boots. 2015 began and Nick at Night's once massive catalog was down to slim pickings. Again, classics like Full House, George Lopez, and Friends were still there, but so many great shows.
Friends, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be a hater from somebody that ain't never watched Friends. But is Friends really funny? Like, let's be real. Is Friends really funny? I done watch clips and all that, but it don't seem that funny. I'm being a hater that I ain't never watched it. I ain't never watched Friends, but hey, it just never seemed funny to me. Maybe I'm dead wrong, but I don't know.
Came and went. Luckily,
I could
in
be
late
dead wrong
2014,
about
Nick at Night
Friends.
acquired How I Met Your Mother, which they held on to until June of 2015.
So
Not even a
what you
full
call it?
year.
Yeah,
They also brought back Fresh Prince in late 2014 as well.
it was
So
already
that's
done.
nice. Now spam 4 hours of Carlton down their throats, and nobody will notice our channel lacks shows.
I mean, let's be real. If I would have been okay with that. I ain't gonna lie. I would have been okay with that if I would have been still watching TV around that time. But I would have been okay with Fresh Prince coming on back-to-back episodes. I would have been straight with that.
Seriously, that's the mentality Nick at Night was using at this time. Seriously,
Wouldn't
though,
have minded.
2015 felt like just such a low point. Instant Mom went off the air, and shows I've never cared to watch, like Younger and Teachers, began to air.
The hell is
That's
that?
two different shows, Younger and Teachers. Both of which were out the door in 2016 anyways.
Who greenlit this poster? Like this picture right here, I look straight trash. I look at this show, I look at this poster and say, I am not watching this. Who greenlit this poster? Am I like, who greenlit this? That looks like hot garbage that shouldn't have got aired. Like, what is this? What?
Teachers. Both of which were out the door in 2016 anyways. This right here was about the
No
time
shit.
I personally gave up on Nick at Night.
I was already
All
done.
it was reruns of shows I'd now been watching for almost a decade, if not longer. So 2015 was when I last watched Nick at Night. I feel like I was early too, as in 2016 Nick at Night had an availability in 92 million homes across North America. Now I won't lie, since I gave up on Nick at Night in 2015, it certainly grabbed some awesome shows, like The Goldbergs, The King of Queens, The Jim Gaffigan Show, The Office, and very recently
I gotta hate on The Office too. I ain't gonna lie, like, it's not. I don't know if it's my style of comedy, but I watched a few episodes. I guess it's slow. It's too slow for me. I'm not with it.
Seinfeld and Young Sheldon,
Yo,
all
Sheldon,
of
though.
which no longer air on Nick at Night and haven't since 2022. So I guess 2022 was more or less the death of Nick at Night, or at least it feels like that for now, as all Nick at Night really has anymore is Friends, Mike and Molly, and Mom. That's right, George Lopez
Remember that commercial coming out for Mom? I remember the
left
commercial.
in 2020, and
Oh, George Lopez ain't on there no more? That's crazy. It had a good run. They were making George Lopez a lot of goddamn money, I'm pretty
Full
sure.
House finally bowed out in late 2021.
I'm surprised it lasted
My
that
question
long.
is,
Who
how
was
are
watching
3
it?
shows carrying Nick at Night?
Who was watching?
And the answer is,
Uh,
they aren't. Cable TV as a whole is a wasteland anymore due to streaming. In 2016, like I said, Nick at Night was a part of 92 million households in some capacity. But in 2022, only 65.1 million households have
Damn.
cable. And with that decline, how many really watch the same Nick at Night reruns they've had going for years? Seriously, who's tuning in to watch the same episodes of Mike and Molly for the last 4 years?
I ain't gonna lie. Who watches
Honestly,
that?
the
Who
sad
watched
reality
that?
of it all is Nick at Night was the first
watched Mike and
oldies
Molly?
TV network, which inspired TV Land. Seriously, the cable TV network TV Land was a spin-off of Nick at Night. It used to be called Nick at Night's TV Land. A whole other network came into existence because of it in 1996. And
You
to
know what
this
that
day,
is?
it plays old Nick at Night shows like Everybody Loves Raymond,
I like
King
that.
of Queens,
That's a good show.
Roseanne,
No.
The Golden Girls,
No.
The Goldbergs,
No.
Mike and Molly, Mom, and more.
No,
So really, why
I don't
even
have a clue what
try
TV
to
Land
compete
is.
if TV Land is a 24-hour service that's doing exactly, if not better, than what Nick at Night is doing? Honestly, at this point, cable TV is dying.
It's
I
over,
personally
but
love having my things on physical media, whether it's DVD.
I ain't gonna lie. I need to start getting back. I need to get into getting physical media again, because they wildin'. They companies out here wildin' nowadays. I can't take it no more.
Blu-rays,
I'm gonna be real.
But
They
in the
wildin'.
case of cable TV, streaming is better. I personally say let
Barely.
Nick at Night either die and run Nick all night, 24 hours a day, or bring Teen Nick, an old Nickelodeon block, back for the overnight hours. Who am I kidding? Even Teen Nick, the channel,
Yeah.
sucks ever since Paramount Plus came in.
Yeah, I'm about to say, don't they got a whole channel? Because I used to watch it, right? Yeah. Nicktoons, yeah. Nicktoons, yeah.
To play. All Teen Nick airs are reruns of Henry Danger, Young Dylan, Danger Force, and NFL Slime Time, which is actually more pathetic than the Nick at Night lineup right now.
I ain't
Who
gonna lie,
knows
that
what's in
sounds
store for the
ass.
future of Nick at Night? Maybe it'll return to its glory days somehow. I, however, feel as if it's only a matter of time before we say goodbye to the once amazing time block
I mean,
so
that's
many
what
of us
every
loved and
TV.
remembered.
I mean, all
Let me
cable
know your
right there.
thoughts on Nick at Night. When did you last tune in to watch this channel? Do you still watch it?
2013.
And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like
2013,
below
yeah.
and subscribe for more content just like this.
Yep. Once I got out of middle school, yeah, I started watching TV. I started watching pirate and stuff. I started getting on my pirate grind. I ain't gonna lie.
And
The pirate beast. What is that? Oh, okay, I'm like, oh my god, is that my PC? Oh my god, I'm like, oh my god, no, something wrong. That's the damn thing. Oh my god, had me scared for a second.
I got nothing.
George Lopez, oh my god, that theme song. I fuck with the theme song, but it used to wake me up at night. It did. Aggravating.